It was around 11 p.m. The bustle of the city had gradually died down. Black clouds gathered in the sky, occasionally tossing lightning, accompanied by the pattering rain. Rajib, an ordinary office worker, was returning home after work. But unfortunately, he missed his last bus that day. Standing and waiting, Rajib thought he might not make it home today. Just then, a long-distance old bus appeared. The paint on the bus was faded, and the windows covered in dust, like it hadn't been driven for years. Yet its engine roared with a spine-chilling sound. The bus halted in front of Rajib. The driver nodded through the window. "Come on, get on." Rajib, hesitating slightly due to the rain, got on the bus without giving it much thought. Upon entering, he felt the atmosphere was unexpectedly cold. The passengers sitting shoulder to shoulder seemed lifeless, with no expressions on their faces. No one was talking, nobody was looking around, just sitting and staring ahead. The bus began to move slowly, but when Rajib looked out the window, he realized that the bus wasn't on the road. It was surrounded by dense forest, trees buried in darkness, and a path shrouded in mist. Suddenly, a passenger sitting at the front slowly turned to look at Rajib. His face had no skin, just a living skeleton. His voice seemed to float in the cold air. "Didn't realize you were still alive? Rajib, now you can't get off." Rajib, scared, stood up and ran toward the door. But the door was locked. The eyes of all the passengers gradually turned red, with a terrifying smile on their faces. Inside the bus, there seemed to be a lament. Rajib was screaming, pounding on the door, but nothing was working. Since then, no one had been able to find Rajib. The villagers say, if anyone sees that old bus late at night, never board it, because it is the ghost bus.
In the rainy night, the city seemed to be drowning. It was almost midnight. Rahul and Arnab, two college friends, had planned to visit the hills. However, the train suddenly stopped at an unknown station named Karanova. The station lights flickered dimly. There was no chatter, no coolies, no announcement sounds. Just a solitary yellow lamp glistened in one corner. Arnab whispered, "I've heard about this place somewhere. They say a train once vanished on this line after an accident." Rahul chuckled. "Stop with the stories. Let's go and see if there are any shops ahead." Just then, a train gradually rolled onto the platform. No horn, no guard. Yet, the train halted and the doors opened, as if it was waiting for them. Curiosity and a hint of recklessness led them to board it. The moment they stepped inside, they froze. All passengers seemed like wax figures, eyes devoid of glances, faces without expression. They sat in silence, like slumbering souls. Suddenly, an old lady stood up, whispering, "There's still time. Get off. If not, you'll never return." Arnab said fearfully, "Let's get off." But the doors had already shut. An old man in worn-out clothes slowly began. "Do you know, on a rainy night in 1965, a train vanished on this line? This is that train. And we are its passengers." A chilling coldness descended. The passengers' eyes turned into black voids. Wisps of smoke emanated from their bodies. The train began to move, a destination unknown, a realm of shadows. From a corner, they heard the cry of a child. They see a small boy, silently sitting, in torn clothes, eyes filled with pain. He said, "I wanted to see my mother, but the fire took everything. I haven't seen her yet. Will you help me?" Rahul said, "If your last wish is fulfilled, you will find peace. Free us." The boy stood, and magical light spread throughout the train. Instantly, all the ghostly passengers vanished like smoke. Both friends suddenly saw. They were seated on Karanova Station's bench, drenched in rain, eyes filled with terror. And the train? It was nowhere. But Rahul held an old photograph, a small boy with his mother. Below was written, "Papai, missing in the 1965 train accident." Rahul and Arnab could never forget that singular night. They knew, on every rainy night, a train arrives at Karanova. Those who mistakenly board it never return. They only say, "Don't stand on the platform on rainy nights. The train belongs outside time, its destination close to hell." It was a stormy night. Lightning struck the sky, and lightning flashed every minute. The rain seemed to be in turmoil, out of someone's wrath. 3 friends, Abhi, Raju, and Biplab, were returning from the city on a motorbike. Suddenly, the bike breaks down on a deserted road, where there is no light, no people, just bamboo groves and dim lights of distant houses. Unable to move due to the storm, they venture towards a nearby small tea shop in search of shelter. The shop is at a corner of the road, amazingly open amidst the storm. A middle-aged man sits under the canopy, eyes marked with deep darkness, face silent. There are no houses around the shop, no hustle and bustle, just the storm and a strange stillness. The shopkeeper looks at them intently as they enter. Then he softly says, "Was it necessary to come here tonight?" Abhi laughs and replies, "You see the storm too, uncle. Where else could we go without shelter?" The uncle says nothing more and serves 3 cups of tea. The steam from the tea seems to create a mist inside the room. Suddenly, Raju notices an old photograph on the wall. The picture shows the same shop, but with 5 people standing. Among them, one looks exactly like this shopkeeper. Underneath the photo is written, 1975 midnight. No one returned after that night. Raju quietly gazes at the picture. Just then, a strong bolt of lightning strikes, and the surrounding air freezes. The shop's lights go out in one quick flick. Something is pacing outside, as if the sound of someone's footsteps tearing through the wet ground. Biplab suddenly feels a cold touch on his shoulder. He turns around and sees no one. Another sound, the mirror next to the door shatters. In the broken glass, they see 4 people standing inside the shop. But there are only 3 of them. The 4th, whose face has no eyes, just blank, a blank face. Suddenly the shopkeeper solemnly says, "He's here. Tonight, again that night, 50 years later, returned." With lightning revealing, they realize the shopkeeper is no longer human. His face is melting, eyes dark, and he is laughing. He is saying, "You have drunk tea. Now you must stay here forever." Outside then the storm has stopped, but the shop is never seen open again. In the morning the locals see 3 bikes lying under the old broken tin canopy, but no one is seen. Golpoguccho storms bring fear and beauty into Bengali lives. The sky suddenly darkens, and nature halts with thunder. On such a stormy night, a mysterious event unfolded. Rudro, a young college student, visited his village during vacation. That evening, the sky darkened unexpectedly, signaling a storm. While everyone sheltered at home, Rudro ventured out. He wanted to experience the village's beauty amidst the storm. Cycling through empty village roads, the storm suddenly began. Rain poured down like knives, drenching everything around. He spotted a shop with a thatched roof, cloaked in mist. The sign read Mukul's Hotel, seeming to emerge from nowhere. An old man with strange eyes urged, "Tea? You'll never forget the taste." Drenched and enticed, Rudro accepted the offer without hesitation. One sip made him feel light, as if entering a trance. Everything froze, trees, leaves, even the rain stopped in place. Rudro sensed something unnatural, noticing Mukul's shadow was gone. The old man laughed. "Golpoguccho accomplices never return home. You're my new companion." The shop vanished into darkness, leaving Rudro alone. The next day, people found a bicycle and a broken cup. Rudro was nowhere to be found, nor any sign of the shop. Locals claim no shop ever existed there on that stormy road. Yet, travelers still report a drifting aroma of tea in the wind. A faint voice whispers, "Want some tea?"